Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Alyssa. Today we are going to be doing a quick Grinch makeup tutorial. I'll be doing the whole thing in a voiceover, but I'm going to be recording the whole process of my Grinch makeup look. This past Halloween was really exciting and a fun one, but sadly I didn't record any of the looks that I did. So I really wanted to show some of the process of how I do my makeup looks. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and follow me on my Instagram. So if you want to see how I turn myself into the Grinch, then please keep on watching.
Okay, so first we're going to go in with this Elmer's purple glue stick and we're going to push this glue into our brows. We're going to push down really hard so that our brow hairs lay flat onto our head. Next we're going in with our paint palette, this metal palette and this metal spatula, and they're all from Amazon and I'll link them down below. These paints are really hard to use, but once you get the hang of it, they're really good, and now this is my go-to for all my extravagant makeup looks. Now I'm going in with a disposable sponge to blend this all out, and I don't use my normal makeup sponge because this paint is really hard to get out, so I don't want to ruin it. And then I realized I didn't do my second layer of glue, so I went in to do that in the middle of blending my face out. So after you let the glue dry for a little, you want to pack some translucent powder onto the brows. So you want to really push it in so that you can fill in the gaps between the hairs and create a smooth surface. On top of the brows, we're going to go in with the cream product. I used concealer so that we can cover the darkness of the brows and really cover them up. I'm not too experienced with covering up my brows yet, so I'm not even sure if I'm doing it correctly, but you will see the brows peeking through a little bit later. So like I was saying, this paint palette is really tough to work with since it is oil based. It's hard to remove from your brushes and it won't just wash off with water. It transfers literally everywhere, so you have to be really careful, but it does not transfer after you set it, which I will be doing a little later. So next I went in with highlighting my face, and I used some of the paint, just the white paint in the palette, and I added a little bit of yellow later so that it wasn't as bright, but I added way too much paint on my face and it was really hard to blend out. So be wary that you already do have product on your face and you don't have to add like 5 more pounds like I did. See, like I said, I put way too much product on and now I'm looking a hot mess. So now that I'm done with my base, I'm going to go in with my RCMA No Color Powder and pack a whole bunch of powder on my face, like literally go in with this powder. There's no such thing as too much powder. I like to go in with extreme amounts because I want to make sure that it doesn't transfer anywhere, and so that I can blend my other products on top of it easily. So then I headed over to Google and I used these Grinch pictures as my references. And for most of this look, I'm going to use this bright matte 42 color eyeshadow palette from Beauty Bay. It is so good because you have access to so many shades and colors in one palette. So to start off, I just went in with a really small brush and some of the eyeshadow and started to outline the features of the Grinch's face. So the nose, the upper lip area, and then his wrinkles in his face. So later in the video, you'll see some latex on my eyebrows because I was trying to add some cotton to it to make them look a little bit more Grinchy, but that really didn't work out. So you'll see some stuff on my eyebrows that looks weird. So instead of the cotton eyebrows, I decided to go in with my Mayron Paradise Paints palette. And it is also so awesome because I have access to so many colors and I don't have to mix stuff. Oh, there I am taking off that latex. But I went into the dark green in the palette and kind of used a really small brush to add little brush strokes onto my eyebrows. The Grinch does have really bushy eyebrows, so at first I just traced in little hair strokes into my natural brow. Then I added this little curl at the end that he has in some of the photos I saw. And I also saw that he had a lot of hair in the middle that created kind of a triangle look. Next, I colored in his nose, and At first I wanted to go in with the dark green because it seemed like he had a darker green nose, but I just ended up going in with black because you couldn't really tell the difference anyways. So going back into that dark green color that I originally used to trace out his facial features, I'm going back in to darken them and define the lines that I have already made. So now to make it more realistic, I'm going in with this lime green and blending out those dark green lines. And I'm only blending out on the bottom of them to make it look like he has kind of like indentations and it's casting a shadow down, if that makes sense. I had to do a quick hat check to see how much of my forehead was going to show because I didn't want to draw so many wrinkles and then have none of them show. And then I did a little dance because I thought I was doing pretty good. So I mixed up some of that green, yellow, and white from the paint palette and tried to create a light green so that I could define the edges of that dark color. Then I would blend out the edges so it wouldn't be so harsh. But this part didn't really work out as well as I wanted it to because some of the paint underneath did kind of come off and separate, but it didn't look too bad in the end, so I was okay with it. And then I went ahead and did the same steps with all the wrinkles on his face. The other thing about this is I had like an itchy spot right next to my nose and I couldn't scratch my face because I didn't want any of the paint to come off, so that was a struggle. Next, I started to add some shading into his eyebrows and my eyes and my nose. So I started with the eyebrow contours, as you can see here. So then I started his eyeshadow and I started with a dark green and put that all over my lid. Then I randomly hopped back to another part of my face and started doing my mouth. So I just defined that line that makes his mouth like divided, kind of like that dog or cat line. I don't even know what that is. Like, what would you call that? And then I added little dots for his, like, I guess whisker holes. I have no idea the Grinch anatomy, so I just did this part. I also didn't show this part, but I blended out my forehead wrinkles. Now I'm going back into that dark green and being a little bit more precise with my eyeshadow. I did turn it into a halo eye, so I just wanted to make sure that dark brown, that dark green was really dark and vibrant everywhere. Now I wanted to add a pop of gold in the middle, so I went into my Jaclyn Hill palette and went into that color and put it on my eyelid, just in the middle of the eyelid. And I don't know, I just think it's such a pretty look for the Grinch. I don't know, something about the gold isn't too vibrant and doesn't pop out too much, but gives it a nice glam look. So I was adding some highlights to define my wrinkles on my face a little bit more, and then I got distracted by adding contour to my face. So I gave the Grinch a little bit of a snatched look by giving him some cheekbones. And so I just went in with that dark green and put it into the hollows of my cheeks. So like I was saying earlier, I continue to add highlights to my cheek wrinkles. Adding highlights and shading to my work is something that I learned a little more recently, and it does take a lot of time because you kind of have to do 3 parts, like the base, then the shading, and then the highlights. But I think it's those small little details that really makes the looks look even better. So then I went in with the Dodo lashes in the style D301. And then I went in with this Dose of Colors My Main Liquid Lipstick. And I chose this color because it was the perfect pink that kind of made it look like his lips but better. And as you can see on my finger, I tried to add some cotton to kind of go for that Grinch looking hand. But it was so complicated, I didn't know how to make it green. And I was too lazy to paint my whole hand, so I kind of just ditched that idea, but the idea was there.
So this is the final look, guys. I think my favorite thing about this whole look is actually the brows. I actually wanted to make them like fake and fluffy before with like this stuff, but it was just not working, and I actually think they turned out even better. I don't know how to make a face like the Grinch, so it's gonna take me a while to take photos in this, but I'm really happy with how it looks. I don't have also a Santa suit, so we just had to like, I just am wearing a shirt and like this like thing. I don't even know what the, oh, it's green. Oh no. Oh well. Yeah, so it doesn't like really look like a Santa suit unless like I keep like choke myself back here. But I hope you enjoyed this Get Ready With Me Grinch edition. If you like what you saw, please like, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram. I definitely have more looks planned for this Christmas season, so if you like these kind of videos, please let me know. I know tutorials are like not the in thing anymore, but I really like, I think it's so fun to watch people go through the process of like actually getting to this stage. But if you don't like it, please let me know. And if you like it, let me know. But that's all for today, so I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!